I'm going to try to turn this and probably some other stuff into something cool.
This is part 3 of Guess What I'm Making of an I don't know how many part series. Because I've actually never done this before. I didn't even know I was going to do this when I decided to film this. I wasn't even going to film making this, but since it was a project that I've been wanting to do, hey, I wanted to do it. So far, it's just this chunk of wood that has a bunch of holes in it. That I was hoping was all oak because I had chosen some oak balusters and I wanted all the wood to match. But as you can see through this, not as good of an edit as I was hoping it would be. It is not all oak. Maybe here's a little easier. You can see it's mostly maple with a little bit of oak. And then it had an oak veneer on top of one side and it had a walnut veneer on the other side. And I was like, what? But anyway, I'm actually showing you this out of order, but when I show you the full uninterrupted start to finish at the end of this series, you'll see I skipped over a few things. But anyway, as I was doing this, I realized I didn't have enough material. So I'm going to grab this. So far, at the time of editing this, in part 1 and 2, there's been one guess so far of what this is. That's correct. Kind of. Sort of. Halfway there. And I'm not going to tell you which it is, because this is still a game.
It's chipboard, but it won't matter for this.
In reality, I was super bummed that was chipboard. Not because it's going to take away from the integrity or aesthetic of the build, although I guess it kind of does. But more so because I held onto that table leaf for so long because I thought it was solid oak. And I don't even like oak. I doubly don't like fake oak. But anyway, this is a piece for me, so it won't matter because of what I'm using it for. It's just disappointing. I just needed a third piece to mimic my acrylic piece that I mentioned in part 1 and 2 from my initial pile, which I did go back to cut this solid oak from a bed frame, which shown here I don't even have cut to the correct width. I screwed up. And I didn't even correct it on film. But don't worry, it shouldn't really screw you up if you're trying to guess what I'm making. Although everything I've shown you doesn't really help. Stay tuned for part 4.